Hello, I want to tell you something about the talk and workshop I'm offering on supporting children in the face of climate change. My name's Jo McAndrews, and the talk and workshop it covers four main sections. The first section is about it's about understanding the neurobiology of what it is to be human and how, as babies and children, we develop and how we build the necessary qualities that give us resilience, mental, physical health, and how parenting is at the core of that. So there's some basic information there that I just really want that everything else is based on, knowing how it is that parents help shape and pattern their child's brain, and the very real risk of constant alarm in that, and the need for safety and belonging. So this is something which affects us our whole lives, but when we're talking about parents supporting children, everything else I want to say is based on that. So it starts off with that. Then the second section is about how we communicate with children about what's going on our planet. When we're talking about climate emergency, how do we find ways of communicating that clearly and meaningfully within the child's capacity to understand? And importantly, when do we not talk about it? When do we protect them? How do we fiercely protect children around the language of media and conversations we have with our friends? Um, so that will be looking at different ages and stages of development and looking at a child's capacity to understand, take on information and to deal with it, and how we can keep connected to them to help them process that. Then the third section of the talk is about, and of the workshop, is about activism. How do we help plan activism that is family friendly? So there's two questions here. One is how we involve children in adult activism, like the rebellion action that's happening, that many of us feel very drawn to. How do we involve children in that in a way that respects their needs, their consent, their capacity for understanding what's going on? What do we need to look out for to make it inclusive? And when do we need to keep our children away? And what information do we need? And secondly, many parents around the country are organising, or around the world actually, are organising protests and actions that are specifically welcoming of children. And so I've got some ideas and experience and thoughts about how do we make activism really, really inclusive, child friendly for young children and up. And then the fourth section is about parenting itself as activism. The way we bring up our children directly influences their resilience, their capacity for decision making, their resourcefulness in the future. A lot of people would say that the way that our parenting, authoritarian parenting and behaviour management parenting has been happening, not just parenting, but in our systems like our education systems, has been leading up to the problem now, where we're divorced from our own capacity to know what's good for us, where we don't dare question authority. And I want to say that the way we parent now needs to be very different, because we are bringing up children for a very different future. We want to resource them, we want to give them the ability to think critically, to take initiative, and to have a deep well of a resource that they can draw on. And to do that, we need to let go of our old ideas about obedience being the first priority in our parenting and our school systems. So I also want to talk about the sorts of ingredients of parenting that supports children, not just now, but for their whole lives. And that links us back to the first section, which is understanding how we work in the first place. What is it our brains and nervous systems do? How do we develop? What makes us tick? What makes us happy? And what makes us effective change makers? So that is encapsulates the whole talk, and it's for people. It's not just for parents. It's for any adults who are interested in supporting children or interested in this whole subject. Actually, I will make the case that children are a vital part of our community already, and that they are often forgotten, and that they are very close to being the future adults who are going to be making the decisions and taking this struggle for survival forward. So that's that. I hope that's helpful. Okay, bye.